really feel like I left you guys with investing blue balls by not coming up with a solid number. What's the equivalent of financial dictates? Do you have savings accumulating that you think could be doing more? Should you be turning any of that into assets that give you a larger return? So in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So it's going to be a little bit longer than my usual videos. So grab some snacks, maybe a drink, and we'll get into it. So before we get started, I have to thank the 6 of you that hit the subscribe button last week. Nobody left a comment, so I couldn't really thank you in person, but I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I notice every single time that button goes up. I'll show you just up here. It means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. If you plan on hitting it this week, I'll leave a little hit the subscribe button again. I'm really proud of that animation, by the way. It's harder than you'd think. Something I'll continue to reiterate, don't turn the bell icon on. If anything, you should be going through your apps and turning the bell icon or the notifications off for all of your apps, except for, emergency stuff, like maybe text messages from your mum. I'm really bad for it. As soon as I pick my phone up, I end up scrolling through dumb shit. It's usually like dog videos on Facebook. Turn that shit off and spend more time enjoying what's around you and taking in and appreciating whatever the fuck's going on around you and not staring at your phone. Before we think about turning any of our cash into assets, we need to ask ourselves if it's worth investing that cash at all. There's a really good chance that if you aren't interested in investing, that you're not going to take the time to work out what makes a good investment and what makes a bad investment. I am still learning the difference between the two, and like I've always said, I'm going to share my entire learning journey on here. So until I have a better definition of what makes a good investment, I'll get back to you on that. Until then, get your shit together, Aiden. Until then, I'm going to keep making portfolio updates and we'll work it out together, I guess. A couple of things we need to keep in mind when asking ourselves, should we be investing at all, is how quickly are we going to need to turn any of that cash that we've spent on assets back into cash for an emergency? Do you have an unstable work situation? Do you or a family member have any health concerns where you might need to produce cash for the sake of surgery or medication? So there's a personal risk assessment that we need to do on ourselves before asking that question. If you do that assessment on yourself and you work out that you are in a position where you can take some of your cash and turn it into assets for a larger return, then you need to ask yourself why you would do that. If you're happy with the lifestyle that you currently live and the income that you earn, which I know most people aren't because we all want more, then even if you decide that you are in the position where you could invest some of your money, you might decide not to. However, a strong reason for investing some of your cash into assets is the simple percentage return that you make over a savings account. So I know a lot of my viewers aren't from Australia, but I'm gonna have to use an Australian bank account because it's what I'm familiar with. I bank through ING Direct and they have a 2.6% interest rate on their savings account. What they don't tell you is that 2.6% is paid annually. So if you've got $1,000 in your bank account, they're going to pay you 2.6% of that, which is $26. They're going to break that $26 payment into 12 payments over the course of 12 months. But when you owe them money, let's say you've got $1,000 on a credit card, if the interest rate on that credit card was 2.6%, which it's not, it'd be a fair sight larger than that, they're going to charge you that 2.6% or $26 every month for the 12 months. There's thousands of reasons why banks have a lot of money, but one of the key things that they do is they use interest rates to their advantage. So if I have $10,000 in a high interest savings account, which is 2.6% for ING, the 2.6% is going to be $260 on that $10,000 account. That's going to turn into 12 payments that equal up to $260. Now, the average return on the S&P 500 historically is 10%. Your $10,000 with 10% compounded interest is $1,000 a year. That's on average. So it's plenty of years where it's going to make a lot less than that, and there's going to be years where it makes more than that. So moving away from why we would want to invest our money into how much of our money should we invest is unfortunately a very personal, specific question. There is never going to be the same answer for every individual person because we've already covered an array of things which every person could answer differently. And all that set aside, it could come down to your personal comfort having that stockpile of cash for an emergency. So while I can't tell you exactly how much cash you need to keep in your bank account, I hope at least I've given you some things to think about when you're making the decision. I really feel like I left you guys with investing blue balls by not coming up with a solid number. What's the equivalent of financial dictates? If you made it all the way to the end of the video here, I applaud you because Jesus Christ, I would have given up by now listening to me ramble on for, I don't even know how long this video is going to be. I think I've got 16 minutes worth of footage, so we'll see what that edits down to. But if you did make it this far, thank you so much, and for your efforts. I feel like, if it was worth putting up with for that long, please scroll down, hit the little subscribe button. Like I said, it fucking makes my day. Like, I literally celebrate. So please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment if there's anything you want me to talk about, or anything you want to educate me on. Because like I said, I'm learning. Please throw that in the old comments. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.